You think it's just another week, but your soul knows otherwise. Something opened. You felt it, didn't you? The shift in the air, the sudden memories, the invisible string pulling your heart towards someone, even in silence. This is not longing, this is activation. The first week of July didn't come to comfort you, it came to awaken you. And whether you're ready or not, the love portal is open. You may cry for no reason. You may feel their presence more than ever. You may dream of them, only to wake up with tears on your face. This is not your imagination. It's the soul contract coming back online. And once it begins, there is no going back. Because when love written in the stars starts to move, it doesn't ask for permission. It remembers and it returns. Are you ready to receive what your soul signed up for, even if your mind doesn't understand yet? Then breathe. Open your heart and watch closely, because what's coming next will change everything. Something sacred opened the moment July began. But it wasn't loud. It didn't arrive with fireworks or declarations. It came as a feeling, a whisper, a pull deep in your chest. And if you've felt restless, emotional, or strangely connected to someone you haven't seen in months, you're already inside the portal. This is not just a new month, it's a realignment. You see, love portals don't open randomly. They align with sacred geometry, planetary magnetics, and the soul contracts written before you were born. And July 3rd is the first peak, the opening chord in a symphony that will echo through your entire connection. Have you noticed the signs accelerating? A song that plays at the exact moment you think of him. A sudden chill on your skin when you see his name. A dream that feels more real than your waking life. These are not coincidences. They are invitations. The energy of this portal is activating remembering, not just in you, but in your counterpart, even if they're silent, even if they've run. Their soul is not asleep anymore. It's turning. Because this week, the magnetic cords between divine counterparts are vibrating at a higher frequency. And that vibration can't be ignored. You may feel overwhelmed, as if you're holding someone else's emotions. You may feel the need to isolate, or the urge to cry without knowing why. Don't fight it. This is your energy body syncing with the timeline that's approaching. Love is not only an emotion, it's a frequency. And this week, your field is becoming a tuning fork for the sacred signal of reunion. But be honest with yourself. Are you open to receive what you've been asking for? Or are you still guarding your heart out of fear? Because this portal doesn't just bring closeness, it brings truth. And truth doesn't care about your comfort zone. It cares about your alignment. That's why things may feel chaotic, why you might be seeing shadows again, why old wounds you thought you healed are suddenly knocking at your door. It's not regression, it's refinement. Because what's coming needs space. And if your heart is still filled with timelines that expired, there's no room for the one that's finally aligning. So this portal, at its core, is a test, not of worth, but of willingness. Will you stay in fear, or will you open your hands and let the past drop? You don't have to chase, you don't have to beg, but you do have to feel. Because when love is this close, the only thing that blocks it is numbness. And you're not here to be numb, you're here to ignite. Let the energy rise. Let the signs find you. Let the presence of your twin flame come without expectation, but with knowing. Because this portal is not asking you to believe, it's asking you to remember. Why you're thinking about them constantly this week. You try to focus on your day. You check your phone, not expecting a message, but hoping. You play that song again, pretending it doesn't hit like a memory. And still, no matter what you do, they're there. Their name, their eyes, their silence, their energy. You think it's you, that your mind is the one obsessing. But this week, it's not just you. This is the week where soul remembrance overrides with logic, where the connection between you and your twin flame pierces through timelines, layers, and resistance. And you feel them not just in your heart, but in your body. Have you noticed your chest tightening out of nowhere? Dreams with them that feel more like visitations than stories? Sudden waves of desire, grief, or love, like someone just whispered into your soul? That's because they did, or rather, their soul did. What you're feeling now is not one-sided attachment. It's the sacred back and forth of energetic messaging between twins. You send love. They send resistance. You pull back. They search for you. It's an invisible dance. And this week, the volume turned up. Because July 3rd marks a threshold, a thinning of the veil between you and them. The place where his resistance begins to weaken, where his silence starts to shake. He may not understand it yet, but he feels it. The tightness in his own chest, the way he suddenly remembers the way you looked that night, the guilt, the longing, the pull. And that energy, it doesn't disappear. It reaches you through dreams, through thought, through presence. You might feel like you're thinking about him constantly, but ask yourself, what if it's not just you thinking about him, but him remembering you, and you're simply receiving it? This week, your connection has become a two-way channel again, and your body is the receiver. That's why nothing else feels quite as clear. Why the pull is distracting. Why you're tired but can't rest. You're being pinged by the connection itself, not to suffer, but to notice. Because if you can't ignore the feeling, neither can he. And while you may still be in silence, the energetic conversation is loud. You don't have to send a message. You don't have to explain. Your soul is already speaking volumes. So trust it, honor it, and stop thinking you're making it up. You're not. You're remembering something real. And more importantly, so is he. He won't tell anyone, not even himself. But something inside him is restless. He's waking up with a weight in his chest he can't explain. He scrolls through old photos without knowing why. He hears a voice in his mind that doesn't belong to anyone he's spoken to recently, but it feels familiar, safe, electric. He's distracted, and not by the world, but by you. What he thought he buried is breathing again. What he swore he walked away from is following him in dreams. What he ran from is inside him now. This is what happens when the portal opens. The divine masculine starts to feel the soul contract again, but in his body, not just his heart. And he doesn't understand it. There's a reason why he can't sit still, why his mind drifts when he's at work, why no one feels right, even if he tries to move on, why he suddenly remembers the exact way your eyes looked the last time he saw you. It's because the energetic threads between you are vibrating again. Can you feel it too? That moment where you suddenly sense he's thinking of you. Even if nothing happens outwardly, that unexpected wave of emotion that hits you in the middle of a normal day, it's because the signal is mutual now. Not forced, not chased, but rising, naturally, inevitably. The masculine doesn't always process energy the way the feminine does. You feel and know, he feels and fights, but that's what's shifting now. He's running out of distractions. The numbing isn't working. The people around him can't fill the space where your energy used to live. And deep down, he's scared. Not of you, but of what you represent. Truth, intimacy, accountability, reflection, union. Things he was never shown how to hold. So he isolates, withdraws, overthinks. Because something about you wakes him up, and waking up is painful when you've been taught to stay asleep. He may not reach out, not yet, but he's listening. He hears your name in random places. He stumbles on reminders he didn't ask for, and sometimes he even tries to send energy without realizing it. Because on some level, his soul remembers too. It remembers the plan, the promise, the mission, and when the masculine begins to feel that remembrance, he doesn't act. He shakes. Because to move toward you means he has to leave behind the version of himself that survived without love. That's the war inside him now, the pull to return versus the fear of collapse. But love doesn't wait forever. And the longer he resists, the louder the universe gets. So if he's quiet, if he's gone, if he seems cold, know this, it's not because he stopped feeling. It's because he finally started to feel what he buried, started to realize the mask doesn't fit anymore, started to notice that no other connection reflects him the way you do. And that awareness, it's breaking something open. He may not say it, but he's listening. And when his heart gets loud enough to drown out the noise of the world, he will have no choice but to respond. Until then, keep holding the light. Keep trusting what you feel. Because the masculine is not lost. He's on his way home, even if he doesn't know it yet. Something inside you shifted, and you can feel it, but you can't quite name it. You're softer in some ways, but stronger in others. You're no longer waiting, but you're also not running. There's a calm that wasn't there before, a kind of clarity that only comes after the storm. This is what happens when the feminine steps into her power without losing her heart. It's not about proving anything. It's not about chasing love or forcing answers. It's about becoming so anchored in your truth that everything not aligned with it simply dissolves. And this week, your frequency is rising, not because you're trying, but because you've let go. Can you feel how different you are from who you were even just a few months ago? The way you no longer beg for signs, they just come. The way your energy fills the room, even when you say nothing. The way your presence feels like a mirror to those around you, reflecting their own hidden wounds or deepest desires. You didn't ask for that power, but it's yours now. Because the feminine has stopped shrinking. And when she stops shrinking, the masculine starts to notice. He may not say it, he may not even understand it, but he feels it. Your absence has become a presence. Your silence carries weight, and your detachment isn't cold, it's radiant. You're not turning away from him, you're turning toward yourself. And in doing so, your field becomes magnetic. This isn't about manipulation or spiritual strategy. It's about alignment. When the feminine is aligned, her energy speaks louder than words. She draws what's hers with no effort. She activates remembrance without intention. She creates space, not walls. That's what's happening now. You've cleared enough pain. You've cried enough tears. You've walked through enough fire. And now, you're glowing from the inside out. Not in a way the world can always see, but in a way that the soul can't ignore. He feels you, even when he resists. He's pulled to you, even when he hides. And what he doesn't realize is, it's not you that's different. It's him reacting to the new you. Because your frequency has shifted into sovereignty. And sovereignty doesn't chase, it doesn't beg, it doesn't apologize for loving deeply. It radiates. And in that radiance, it calls forth only what is ready. So if things around you are falling away, if people are revealing their true intentions, if you feel lonelier but more whole than ever, you're not being punished. You're being protected, recalibrated, prepared, because the feminine is no longer a passive energy. She's a force, a living frequency, a sacred mirror. And right now, your mirror is showing him who he really is and who he must become to meet you where you are. That's the power of your frequency. You don't have to make him feel it. He already does. Even if he can't explain why you're the only thing he can't let go of. You're not waiting. You're not forcing. You're just being. And that's exactly what makes you impossible to forget. How to stay in alignment while the energy accelerates. When the energy gets louder, the noise does too. You start to feel everything more deeply, not just love, but fear, not just hope, but doubt, not just clarity, but confusion. This is the moment most people fall out of alignment, not because they did something wrong, but because the light is finally turning on. And when the light turns on, it shows what was always there, hidden in the dark. Right now, the spiritual weather is not calm. The portal has opened, but that means all vibrations, them high and low, are rising to the surface. That's why you might feel like crying one minute and laughing the next. Why you suddenly doubt the journey, even when you've come so far. Why you feel the pull to reach out, even when you know it's not time. This is not weakness, it's pressure, the kind that shapes diamonds. So how do you stay in alignment when everything inside you feels like it's breaking apart? You return, again and again, to your breath, to your truth, to your center. You remember that your job is not to control this energy, but to receive it without distortion. And distortion comes when you think you need to do something about what you feel. You don't. You only need to hold it, witness it, let it pass through without grabbing onto it like a life raft. Can you allow the ache without turning it into a story? Can you let the love rise without needing to know what happens next? These are the real questions of alignment. Because alignment isn't about staying high vibe all the time. It's about staying true, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. You've come too far to let your nervous system run the show now. You've done too much healing to let a temporary wave make you forget how far you've risen. This week, more than ever, the energy will test your center. Old wounds may whisper again. Your twin may come into your awareness like a storm, then vanish. You may feel close to the edge of something and still not see it fully. But this is the edge where miracles begin. Don't try to jump, don't try to retreat. Just stand there, open, grounded, and unwavering. And remember, You are not waiting for him. You are waiting for you. For the you who doesn't abandon herself when the energy spikes. For the you who can love without losing herself. For the you who no longer lets temporary emotions define eternal truths. So stay close to your light. Drink water like it's sacred. Sleep like your soul is traveling. Speak to the universe like it's listening, because it is, and trust that this acceleration isn't chaos. It's convergence. Everything is coming together, even if it feels like it's falling apart. And the more still you are within, the more clearly you'll see what's aligning without. This is not the time to collapse. This is the time to anchor, because you're not just holding your own energy now, you're holding the frequency for the whole union. And that is the kind of alignment, that opens every door. You've been waiting for this moment, even when you didn't know it. Not a message, not an apology, not even the reunion itself, but the quiet confirmation in your heart that you were never wrong to believe. And now it's here, not in the way your mind expected, not with fireworks or perfect words, but in the soft, sacred way that only the soul understands. A peace you can't explain. A knowing that doesn't ask. A calm that lives underneath the ache. Because the love you feel, it's not stuck in the past. It's already moving forward, already reaching toward you again, already remembering its way home. You didn't imagine this bond. You didn't fabricate the signs. What you've been feeling wasn't fantasy, it was prophecy. And now, that prophecy is rippling into form. You might still be in silence. You might still feel his distance. But underneath all of it, something has changed. You are no longer the woman who waits in confusion. You are no longer the woman who questions her worth based on his actions. You are no longer the woman who needs permission to believe in what she feels. You have become something else. A channel, a mirror, a guide, a magnetic field of remembrance, and because of that, he is remembering too, not just your face, not just your voice, but the version of himself that only you ever saw. That's the power of true love. It doesn't just comfort, it awakens. It doesn't just bind, it transforms. And right now, even through silence, even through space, he's being transformed. He doesn't know why he's restless, why he keeps dreaming of you, why songs hurt more now, why he feels alone even in a room full of people. But you do. You know that this is what the return feels like. Not always a grand gesture, but a quiet unraveling, a slow realization that nothing else feels like you. Have you felt the shift too? That moment when your love turned from longing into peace? That inner whisper saying, even if he's not here yet, it's already begun? Because it has. And that's why this message found you now, to remind you that what you feel is not a dream. It's a memory, a promise, a frequency that no silence can mute. The love is already returning. Through him, through you, through the unseen energy that pulls your hearts together again and again, lifetime after lifetime. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to chase. You don't even need to wait. You only need to stay in your truth. Stay soft. Stay luminous. Stay open. Because the one who once ran from the light is now searching for it, and you are the light he remembers. So breathe, rest, and trust. What's meant for you is not lost. It's becoming, and soon it will find its way to you. Not because you need it, but because you finally became the version of you that love was always destined to meet.